So as you can see, my power meter I keep in this Emax Pagoda case that is empty. Out of the box, you notice that it comes with two attachments, the antenna, the ducky antenna, and the SMA to SMA adapter. So obviously right out of the box I knew that I was going to lose this piece if this is the one that I always had on there. So I reached out to Brain 3D, told him the need, and he came up with this idea. And it has the keychain attachment thanks to Sander Sessions, so that's really cool. Quickly, this is the on button here. That's what it looks like when you first turn it on. Down here you'll have the micro USB to charge, and this is the little joystick button that you use to navigate around this bad boy. So real quickly, if you press down on the center of the button, it takes you to the calibration menu. So we'll be doing our test, or our quick test today on 5800, so we're going to leave it there. But if you needed to adjust it to calibrate for a slightly different channel, let's say race band 1, you would click down. You can see where that actually turned solid, and now you can go up and down with your joystick to change the channel. So race band 1, you would go down to 5650, because I believe race band 1's 5658, and then you would unclick the center button so that your little dot there goes hollow, and then you'd be good to go to do your SMA to SMA test if your VTX is set up on race 1 or anything close to 5650. So we're gonna set this back to 5800 since we're gonna do our test on F4. And then you can just exit the menu by bumping it over to the left. So for the SMA to SMA test, you'll want to be on this menu here. This is for checking out your radio packets. If you have it properly calibrated, let's say for your radio, you could see how fast packets are leaving your radio, so you could actually, I believe, test latency if I understood the other videos correctly. And then here is the Joe Scully method screen, but we'll come back to that in a minute. So first we want to establish that we have a good baseline VTX to zero out to. So we have our little contraption here. We'll grab a 5S battery since that's pretty much all I have laying around these days. And we're going to go ahead, and since we don't want to fry our Unify, even though they're rated to go without an antenna for some time, we're going to go ahead and screw this in. This is a brand new race Unify. The pigtail has not been touched, so it's good quality pigtail for the testing. Let's see if we can set this up here so that you can see everything you need to see. So we're going to plug in the battery. Now that we know we have a good baseline, this VTX is putting out about 28 milliwatts, we're going to go ahead and put an antenna on it and test the Joe Scully method. And since we know that this VTX here is putting out right around 29 milliwatts on Fat Shark 4, using the proper method, we are going to bump this over to the Joe Scully method screen, and then you're going to place this about a 1/4 inch from the top of the antenna, and then hold up on the button, and it's going to say 0 defined on the screen, and then it's going to create a new 0. So if you are holding it in the correct position, you will see that it is right at 0, or very close to it. And you can also test the integrity of an antenna by going around like this and getting a read out on the screen and seeing how close to 0 it holds. That's probably a video for another day. So now on this quad to kind of show you how the Scully method works, now that we've zeroed it out on a known source. The quad is plugged in. I've turned it to Fat Shark 4. I've turned it to 25 milliwatts. This is the same VTX with a different antenna, so that is not constant between the tests. That is a variable in this case, and obviously something under normal test conditions that we would not want to have. But on my quad I have an axis antenna, and we wanted to have an SMA to be able to direct connect here. So unfortunately I didn't have an axis SMA laying around. So 25 milliwatts on the same kind of VTX with a slightly different antenna. Well, not slightly different, almost totally different kind of antenna. But we should still get an idea using the Scully method on whether or not this VTX is outputting close to 25, or since our zero source is right around 29 milliwatts. So I'll hold it right around the same distance. That this VTX is about 5 or 6 dB lower. You know, we'd have to look at the charts, but I'd guess that this VTX is probably outputting low and probably outputting around 15 milliwatts. So not optimal by any means for test or race scenarios, and something that I would want to double check the antenna integrity and the connection of the UFL. So that is how you do the Scully method. You know, SMA to SMA to define a known working source at the range that you want to confirm at. You zero it out using the Scully method by holding up on this button here, and then you hold it the same distance on your test VTX antenna combos and get a readout to figure out how close you are.